Oh, nay. All right. All right. Hey, how's everybody doing out there? Welcome again to another edition, another episode of the RnRGzrs show. As always, I'm your host, Murph, and my co-host there. The other screen is Doc Vox. How's it going today, man?
Oh, going splendidly, sir. Splendidly.
Yes,
Ready to talk about some rock and roll. Got a little bit to talk about. Got a nice topic this week, I think. So,
yeah.
Before we get into it, just want to remind everybody doing all the good YouTube type things. But besides that, we are expanding into the world of podcast. So this will be in the audio podcast where you get your podcast.
Yep. So Apple, Google, all of them.
Spotify.
Yeah,
right.
we're going to be on all of them.
So for
that's very cool.
Those of you watching on YouTube, do all the good YouTube things to send the algorithm vibes our way. Like, subscribe, most importantly.
Sure enough.
And,
yeah.
Encourage our behavior.
True that. Yeah, it's been a great weekend. A lot of music. But we'll get into that later. And also a lot of news. Crying out loud, some great news. I had no idea, but the James Gang is going to be coming back for a I think one-off reunion. Isn't that something?
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah. With the Black Keys, Dave Grohl, 9 Inch Nails.
They're doing the Vets Aid. They're doing the benefit for veterans in Ohio, and it's all Ohio bands. And the James Gang are getting back together, minus their drummer, and Dave Grohl is stepping in to fill that spot, which should be just awesome.
Yeah.
And then they're joined by a few other Ohio artists who got 9 Inch Nails, right? Black Keys.
Yeah. Trenton, the boys.
The Breeders. Remember the Breeders? They got together, I guess, about 94-ish. Kim Deal, formerly of the Pixies. Familiar with the Pixies. So she split from them and started the Breeders. So, just a lot of different Ohio artists.
Very cool. And they're bringing back, James Gang was a 3-piece. So they're bringing back the bassist Dale Peters and drummer Jim Fox. And I'll be darned. Wow. I've got their first 3 albums.
They do have the drum. Okay. Well, then what's Dave Grohl? Dave Grohl's drumming
with
them as well.
It says right here, joining Walsh on stage for the Union are bassist Dale Peters and drummer Jim Fox. The James Gang lineup that recorded 1970s Ride Again and Thirds and live in concert. So
where's Grohl fitting in there?
Oh, he'll play with somebody, Christ. Give him a guitar.
Well, he's playing with the James Gang is what I read. So
yeah. We'll see what happens. Who knows?
I assume drums. I stand to be corrected. Okay, well, we'll see.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Maybe it's they'll switch on and off, or maybe Grohl will do most of the heavy lifting, and Jim Fox will sit in. Well, we'll see how it goes. Man. Nonetheless, good to see them back together, and
absolutely,
a worthwhile benefit as well. So,
I've got your album, Rides Again, and the live album, and they're all just excellent. A lot of people don't know that Joe Walsh plays a main keyboard, especially on the live album. It's very impressive. But so that's cool. How about that? How about the James Gang coming back? Gosh almighty. Woo doggy. Oh boy. They can't. Yeah. Well, let's read this out here. This is pretty not impressive. Atlanta, they've got a festival called the Music Midtown. And I'll be darned, they've held it for quite a few years, I'm sure. And they decided not to hold it this year because of the possible legal challenges. Because of there's no longer a ban on guns on government property in
public property.
Public property. So they're afraid that nut jobs will be bringing guns into the Music Midtown Fest, and I don't know. I would think they would be able to ban it for a situation like that.
Yeah, that seems.
I don't know. That's too bad. It was, it was going to be held September. With My Chemical Romance, Jack White, Fall Out Boy, A Day to Remember, Turnstile, and a whole bunch of stuff. So
sure.
Oh well, sorry folks. Apparently that ain't gonna happen this year. But
Wow.
jeez,
Yeah, it
I don't
seems
know.
like they could do some common sense legislation there and get to move that forward. So
Hey, well, you can't allow people to bring guns into a thing.
yeah, obviously,
They
yeah,
would obviously
yeah.
try.
And I just,
And
I mean, common sense. Why, yeah,
and who knows? And maybe the Music Midtown may be right in the streets or whatever, where you really can't control who's coming and going anyway. So that could be tragedy. So, oh well, it is what it is. Jeez.
yeah. See how
Now in
that plays out.
Chicago, we got a little different story here with Lollapalooza. Palooza.
Yeah,
Apparently, they've extended it for 10 years. They signed the contract.
re-signed their lease with Mayor Lori Lightfoot,
Yeah, another 10
Beetlejuice, as
years
we all
there.
know her here in Chicago.
Going to stay at Grant Park. She made the announcement on stage to throngs of screaming fans ahead of J Hope's headlining performance. I don't know him. What the? I don't know
Her
any of the
could be her. I don't know.
Or yeah, who knows? Performance to close out the weekend, appearing alongside festival founder Perry Farrell. There you go. There you go. But yeah, I guess it's a good thing for the city. I don't know.
Whose name is a play on words? Perry Farrell, peripheral.
Uh,
I'm not exactly sure how I got
that's a
that, but
fast fact. I had no idea. Yeah, listen to you. Wow, that's cool. I really, wow, man. Yeah, but it is going to be there for 10 more years. It's just too damn crowded for me. Geezers, it's not recommended for geezers.
Yeah, I've been
My back will hurt after 10 minutes, and it's like, where's the chairs?
yeah, I've been an attendee for Riot Fest here in Chicago for God,
Right.
I've gone probably 8 or 9 times now, and yeah, I think I've seen my last one. It's a bit much. There's like you said, there's nowhere to sit. There's no shade. There's just you're just out there among the throngs, and yeah, it's a bit much for a geezer.
Yeah, it's a young man's game.
Yeah,
It's a young man's game.
so.
But that's okay. So let them have their fun. I'm sure it'll be great. I haven't heard. I didn't hear any problems this year. With all the fentanyl problems we've been hearing about. I figured we'd be hearing some news about that, but apparently,
yeah, I haven't heard anything either.
People are on their toes, which is good. You have to be with that stuff.
I guess they don't want to, don't want to ruin it.
Yeah. So next year, August 3rd,
possibly knowing the lease was up for renewal and didn't want to blow it on that year. I don't know. Yeah. Hopefully the fans would have that,
yeah, common
sense. Wits about them that much. Yeah.
Yeah. Good for them. But apparently it brings in like $4 million in taxes and all that stuff. So
oh yeah. That's a windfall for sure.
Young hippies and whatnot. Oh boy. We knew this. We knew we had an inkling, didn't we?
Yeah.
Didn't we have an inkling?
An inkling was had. Yes.
An inkling was had. And in a recent interview with AZ Central, Judas Priest frontman Robert Halford admitted to his mixed feelings about getting honored in the performers category.
Not in the performers category.
Well, it says here about not getting honored in. Thank you.
Right.
Performers category. I was a bit pissed. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. He shared. Some days I go, no, it doesn't matter. We're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Be grateful. Shut the hell up. Well, but still. And then there are other days where I'm like, God damn, why did they give us the Music Excellence Award?
Yeah.
Because it sounds very, grandiose. Yeah. Their music excellence reserved for blah, blah, blah. He continued. And I'm like, yeah, but I want to be in with that bunch of musicians over there that have got performance or whatever I don't know why they gave us the musical excellence performance. I have no clue. I just felt a bit like, well, Black Sabbath got this. Really? Black Sabbath got that?
No, Black Sabbath or performers. They're the only band that's gone in under that category of musical excellence.
So why can't we have that? Not like I'm jealous of Sabbath. I'm just talking about this tag that they give it. It just
right.
Yeah, geez. Well, that rock and roll.
My thoughts on that. We've kind of talked about that, where the musical excellence award is kind of become a backdoor way to get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, where you can kind of skirt the voting process. And I think probably the hall, the members we all know they're not heavy metal friendly. Right. But perhaps, Jan Winter or somebody else way up decided, hey, we need to get Priest in there, and these people are never going to vote them in, so we'll get them in this way. And, Yeah, like you started saying, it doesn't really matter, but yeah, it does matter. To me, it's like having an asterisk, asterisk next to it. Yeah,
and
that's it.
he quotes here, Judas Priest are still the Rodney Dangerfield of heavy metal. They can't get no respect.
No,
Well, it's sort of
no, I would say heavy metal is the Rodney Dangerfield of music.
well, I
don't
have my rim shatter. I'd give you one. Well, let me give you a fall. There you go. Good call. Good call. Yeah, but they're in. But geez, just I'll tell you. Like I said, we need to get Black
Priest and the country Hall of Fame,
Music Hall of Fame, man. Fair play, baby. Yeah, get up there and do some screaming metal gods or something at the Country Music Awards. It'd be great, man. Just be fabulous. Oh, and other news. Oh, we just got so much news. Jeez. Oh, look at these cats. Woo, doggy. Steel Panther. Well, Amazon screwed up, but everybody gonna screw up every now and then. They're using a promo pic of Steel Panther to promote a Prime Video documentary, rock and roll icon Motley Crue. They thought it was Motley Crue. Oh, they are a ragged bunch. I'll say that, but that's Motley Crue.
Motley Crue's look has been,
been copied.
It's been copied. It's been, I don't know, laughed at, perhaps. I don't know. There's a story of when James Hetfield first saw him from a little bit of a distance. He thought they were hookers.
They probably were.
Steven Tyler got the lyrics for "Dude Looks Like a Lady" from seeing Vince Neil. So they do, they do have a bit of a look, and Steel Panther, obviously, they're just I don't know what you want to call it, copycat of an amalgamation of hair bands.
Exactly.
And just
Oh boy. Oh geez.
Yeah, probably some intern at Amazon. Just it looks like some 80s band. I don't know. Yeah, it's Motley Crue. Yeah, okay, put it on. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The Crew. Crew are out. They're still out, right? Yeah, they're out.
They are still out.
Yes.
They are out with this band, Poison.
Yeah. During an August 1st appearance on Sirius XM's Trunk Nation with Eddie Trunk.
Trunk.
Brett Michaels revealed that Poison fans may have to wait until 2025 to see the band perform again after the stadium tour. That's odd. For me next year,
I think he's going to do stuff with his own band in the interim.
Oh boy! Well, what the heck, the stadium.
I think, he's got the stadium tour going now. But Poison does, which, from all accounts, they're just kicking ass on. That they've been kind of the main band, actually, from what I've been hearing, anyway.
Very cool. Yeah. So that's cool. That's cool stuff for Poison. A documentary coming out on this cat here.
Yeah, some upcoming projects coming out. This one's actually out right now. It's the David Bowie biopic, Moon Age Daydream. And it's the first one that's been, given the blessing by the Bowie estate. So
right.
It should be interesting.
Oh yeah, from ostensibly from 70 to 77. So that's quite a
right, prime years.
Changes, Starman, Ziggy Stardust, Gene, all the young dudes, all crying out loud, just crazy good stuff. So that'll be interesting to see for sure. Oh yeah, I had to take this picture. This is the proper picture.
Weird. Another biopic in the works, just getting started, from what I understand, for Weird Al, which I can't imagine. It's going to be a little bit different than I guess we're used to in other rock and roll biopics, I suppose.
Yeah,
but
it's going to be called Weird, the Al Yankovic story. That'd be great. With his perm awash in the sunlight. Yeah. And it's going to be on Roku, so that's
okay.
Cool. I don't have it, but whatever. But very cool. Damn, Weird Al, man, he's done some weird shit.
Been around a long time. He's done it.
Demento.
Right. Dr. Demento
started out on Dr. Demento.
Yeah. Big
Very
fan.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So there you go, man. What do we got here? Ooh, Kane Roberts.
Oh yes.
There it is.
As
machine gun guitar.
As we mentioned a couple episodes back, Nita Strauss is I guess chose to leave Alice Cooper, and she's touring with Demi Lovato now. And we kind of had our say about that a couple episodes ago. But in her stead, Alice has brought back good old Kane Roberts, and I guess there's some new news with that.
Yeah, well, he just wants to. He's not sure if he can bring this guitar on tour. With all the bullshit going on, he comes running out here with a guitar that looks like a AR, an AR or an AK. It may not be a thing to do.
Yeah, he's got with the machine gun one and the flamethrower.
The flamethrower. Right? I saw him with the flamethrower back in I think '88. Yeah. In a recent interview with Vinyl Rider Music, Roberts noticed that the custom instruments return was expected. We'll see what happens, he said, because there's a lot of things involved with doing. I told Alice, a lot of people took that idea and now we have to compete with it. I don't know if anybody else. I know, what's that German band with all the fire?
Rammstein,
yeah. They're out of their freaking. Oh, Nikki Sixx is shooting flames out of his. So, yeah, he's been doing that for a while. Yeah. Gosh. Nikki Sixx.
Yeah, Rammstein, they shoot flames out of everything, man. Just literally everything.
Shooting flames out his ass. Oh,
everything.
My gosh. Oh, my gosh. And let me see. Shooting the same. Oh, boy, that is crazy. Yeah. In the movie Road Warrior, they shot him out there. So, good grief, man. Guys are having fun. What do we got next here? A lot of news. Oh, let me see. Actually, it's time for that concert review. I told you, I just mentioned that we've spent a weekend seeing bands, and Friday night started out the weekend seeing Power Man 5000, Static X, Mudvayne, and Rob Zombie. There's Power Man 5000 right there. Now the singer, I looked at, I was hoping it would be something like a Fred Zombie, because it's Rob Zombie's brother. But no, it's Spider Zombie, Spider. So that's
Spider Zombie.
But they started out, it was a good way to start the night out. They kicked it really well. Jeez. Just the whole night, I gotta say, was really tight and heavy. But Power Man 5000, I gave them about a 30-minute set, and they did their big hit, which I can't believe I'm having a brain fart at the moment.
Worlds Collide.
When Worlds Collide.
Collide.
And that was very cool. Yeah. But it had, their whole set had that kind of groove, that really driving, just grungy, boom, boom, and it was a good way to start. Big crowd right from the start. They were the early bands were really thrilled because and we were watching them pack in, and it was a pretty big crowd right when it started, eh?
Yeah, this is if you've been keeping up with our goings ons, this is our 7th in our summer concert series, and this is the first hard rock metal show of the bunch. So we kind of knew it was in for a different crowd. Wasn't totally packed, but pretty close. It was pretty.
I thought about that. We have to look into that because remember we saw Earth, Wind, and Fire, and they were all the way back to the fence.
Yeah,
but they're all sitting down, so they're taking up more space. And well, we'll talk about that in a little bit about Rob. But it was packing up really fast. It was very eclectic,
good crowd.
Eclectic
and
crowd.
Rob Zombie, I've seen before. Happened to see him at Riot Fest one time. And the other 3 bands I knew very little about. And as we get into it, Power Man 3000, 5000. I keep wanting to say 3000, 5000. They're a little further down the scale, 5000. But they kind of came out, did their songs, had good showmanship about them. Bass player was kind of cool, had good, kind of a vibe about him, I guess.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, they kind of started getting the crowd warmed up,
Warmed up indeed, sure.
doing their job. So yeah,
A
yeah,
great
it was
start.
all
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then following them was Static X. Here they are. Yeah. Badass. Man, oh man, oh man. Well, Wayne Static, the original lead singer, passed away in 2014, was it? 2014 he passed away from overdose of drugs and alcohol. And the replacement guy, you can see him there. He wears the Wayne Static mask with the hair and everything, plays a mean guitar, and does real justice to the vocals. And a band full of real characters. All these bands were just great. But yeah, this guy with the hair, he yeah. I gotta
What
say,
kind of stood out to me with these guys, again with the bass player, he kind of was doing the backing vocals. He was doing the real high ones, and he was doing the real low guttural ones. And yeah, he was a kind of a handy guy to have around.
do that. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
But and just a great stage presence, great rock, and Static X. If you've heard it,
oh yeah, they,
what
they
we're
kept the
talking
energy
about.
up, and yeah, it's
Absolutely. And so they had a good show, probably half an hour or so, and another half hour to switch out, and then up comes Mudvayne, Chad Gray. Whoa, Nelly. uh, I tell you, and that's pretty much what he looked like. I haven't seen many singers that put more into their singing, their performance, as brutal as it was, than this guy. It's just mind blowing. He gave pretty much every ounce of everything he had. It was amazing. It was just stunning, man.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of great frontmen, and this guy I've been unaware of him, other
Man.
just knowing about him, but yeah, fabulous. I was quite impressed. Um, don't know that I'd really go out and buy their albums, but I definitely would go see them in concert again.
Oh yeah, yeah. Great live show. But
Just unbelievable. All the band members had their own kind of cool look, and different kind of characters or
bass
whatever.
player had a bunch of different masks.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
Again, great vocals all the way around. Just
But this guy just vocally, you couldn't make out the lyrics very well, but you could definitely feel him. I mean, this guy emotes like yeah.
Yeah, and just grungy all night long. It sounded like his voice was going to go out at any second.
Yeah,
and he just all night long just gave
just giving it. Yeah. Great front man.
Just hoping he got good showers in the back room there. Get all that crap off his face, man. Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure they have lots of makeup remover or whatever.
Yeah,
but definitely a thumbs up on Mudvayne. Definitely would recommend them.
Yeah, and then of course the main guy, Rob Zombie. I've never seen him. Doc's seen him. I haven't seen him, but I knew I knew it gonna kick some ass.
Yeah, I saw him at a festival setting, so it wasn't the full blown show. That's kind of but
like
yeah, it was a great show.
When Spinal Tap was backing up the puppet show, right? Doing it in a festival setting. But Rob Zombie, yeah, he had on the stage he had probably 4x8 tables up front, 3 of them across the front of the stage, about a foot and a half apart, and he'd stand on the tables and just jump from one to another all night long, and put on quite a show. I forgot a lot of them songs that he a lot of the hits he had back in the day with White Zombie, man.
Yeah, we had John 5 was with him.
I got a picture of him up there, right?
Yeah. He's worth the price of admission by himself.
There he is, slicing the audience in half with his freaking lasers on his guitar.
Yeah.
Got lasers on his guitar. Yeah. John 5. What a, I'm sure a lot of people, they may have heard him, but that's all. This cat can play anything, and he's a shredder. He's an amazing guy, and you know, jeez, I've seen videos of him playing just the jazziest, intricate stuff. And then he can crank it. He can play anything. He can
pick, do bluegrass picking. I mean, he can play anything. Yeah,
all that stuff. John 5, and he's got the guitar that slices his crowd in half. That could be a problem down the road. I don't know, but they put on a great show. All the hits, the crowd. Like I say, we're gonna see if we can get the crowd estimates for our concerts that we've seen, so we can just see who packed them the most. They still think it's going to be Earth, Wind, and Fire so far, but we still got a long way to go. We've got a long schedule coming up. So again, great weather we had. It was just amazing. 7 concerts.
Yeah, real cool stage setting. He kind of had the big monsters coming out, like more human than human. He had the big, like in the video, and a really cool backdrop that constantly videos, just like you would think with Rob Zombie, kind of like old 50 B horror movies and that type of thing. And
then he did
Russ Meyer films and stuff in the background, and
he was cool. Pushing his monster movie during the gig, which was sort of weird, but it is.
Yeah, when they kind of stepped out, it wasn't really like for an encore, but it was kind of like at the end of the show, and they stepped out, and then they showed the trailer for the monster movie, which
well,
I don't know.
I'm going to give it the benefit of a doubt. I don't know why, but I'm going to.
We spoke about that last week, kind of in anticipation of the show this week, and I thought, and I think I need to reevaluate my stance. I thought it would maybe take a dark turn in the monster movie, but now seeing the trailer we saw, no, it just
looks silly.
It's just very cartoonish, very.
I would expect
played for laughs, kind of almost for a younger crowd. I'll see it, no doubt. I'll see it, but
I believe his wife plays
Lily,
and people online are they're not happy, but they're mocking Rob for using his wife in all his movies. So there's some.
He's not the first, but
yeah, what the heck, why not?
They're his movies, what the hell?
But
yeah, the setting of the movie, Eddie's not around yet. This is their courtship, I suppose. It seemed like there was kind of the bit
without Marilyn, really. Come on,
you
ain't got Marilyn. What the? Why bother? Jeez, crying out loud. But so a lot of news.
Perhaps it'll be they'll do Monsters 2, Monsters 3, and they'll Maryland will come in at some point. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But it was a good. It's crazy. It was a good concert all the way around. All 4 bands kicking ass.
Yeah, high energy, kept everybody rocking.
Next Sunday we'll be seeing
Incubus with Sublime with
Rome. Okay, yeah. Don't know how. We'll see. This may be a more laid back crowd. We'll see. I'm surprised they're doing a headlining tour. Quite honestly, Incubus. That just sort of surprised me.
That's another band I've seen at Riot Fest, and quite honestly, I didn't see a whole lot of their set. I saw maybe about 3 songs, and somebody else that I would rather see was playing at the same time, and I moved on.
Well, we'll see what happens. It's always, it's always cool. It's always a good time. We got right in, got right out, and we'll see how it is. Hopefully they'll bring the big stuff. They'll bring a killer show. They have to. They're headlining, doggone it.
I'm actually looking more forward to seeing Sublime, actually. But
cool beans, man. So that's that. And then oh boy. Oh, and another thing, you brought up the big men, the big stage props, the tall people or whatever I don't know what you would call them.
Right.
Zombie had one. I think Alice Cooper uses it, and Eddie, of course, with Iron
Maiden.
Yeah. I don't get it anymore. Back in the 70s, okay, when everybody's doing LSD and shit, it's like, that's that's really far out, but most of their fans are geezers now. And it's like, what the, that doesn't make any sense. It's just like, what the hell? I just think that's
it's perhaps from a nostalgic point of view, I hope it brings out. He had Three different
Three
ones,
of
I
them,
want to say.
yeah, three different ones, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that it's just odd. It's just odd, odd, odd. There's one behind John 5. You can see the goofy face behind him. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
John 5 slicing people in half like he should. Yeah, yeah. Well, that brings us to the subject of the week. And you want to take off on this one, Doc?
Yeah, as we things that interest us, we want like to talk about on the show, and just kind of come to my mind recently. Kind of, I guess, watching Lollapalooza a little bit. It's kind of sparked a little bit, and you read different articles about this. Is rock dying? Is rock dead? Is rock dying? Is rock on the decline? And I'm here to say no. It's as far as the main pop genre that it was in the 70s and 80s, yeah, rock's probably not that, but are there great bands? There's great bands out there still. They're just, they're just for different reasons. They're not getting the marketing, and there's a lot of different reasons. We'll get into that a little bit, but what's your take on that, Murph?
Well, I started out my music love in the mid 60s through the 70s, and then I tolerated the 80s, but the 70s especially. I think the 70s were the golden age of rock music right there. We're talking super groups, tons of them everywhere. Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing groups, and man, so many different kinds of rock music. And now it just, I don't know. It just seems very weird. It seems, rock is taking second place now, and there's not an awful lot of what we would consider super groups anymore. What do we got? The big super group was, of course, Foo Fighters. They could do no wrong, and now that's sort of shot to hell. So, where are is Rob Zombie considered a super group? I don't know. Korn considered a super. Maybe that's
they're from the '90s, though. I mean, they're from the
'90s,
though, right? I mean, we're talking, recent bands. You got to look at, like we were talking about with the James Gang. You got Black Keys, bands like that. And they've even been around for 10 years or more. So,
God, we're geezers.
But we are geezers. I guess people talk about bands like Greta Van Fleet and Kings of Leon. But even Kings of Leon have been around for a while. But it seems to me record companies choose to push more of the product of pop, and I don't know, they have more control over it. They know how to market it. They don't have to worry about because the next big thing is always underground right now, and they don't have to worry about keeping up with that. They just keep pushing their own product and spitting out these teenagers or whatever. And once they get to a certain age, they move on to the next one. And
well, you told the story of Zappa. How Zappa put it. Back in the day, cigar chomping guy behind the desk. He don't know what the hell the music is. Put it the hell out there and let's see what happens. And there you go. They experimented because they didn't know shit. They just knew business. Will it make money? And then it makes money and they're happy. So they were willing to explore and experiment, where nowadays, my gosh, everything's, I'm sure it's
at some point, like in the early 70s, speaking with the Zappa quote, I have my Zappa Crappa t-shirt on, by the way.
That's excellent. I saw that once at a head shop up on North Wells on Wells Street. That poster. Nice. Yeah, very cool. But
But Zappa was saying the rest of that was, and then sometime in the early 70s, the guys with ponytails that thought they were all hip and had their pulse on what was going to be the next hip thing. They started making the decisions of what was going to be marketed and how it was going to be marketed, and let's kind of end up with homogenized kind of crap.
That's how you end up with boy bands.
Well, and that's what kind of sparks punk, though, too. There's always a backlash to these things, and punk obviously didn't get marketed. It wasn't, a big here like it was over in England. But, at some level, there's always a backlash, and that's the underground. And then eventually that'll be the next big thing.
But I got a figure here. In the year 2017, Nielsen did a study, and they concluded that hip hop and R&B were the most consumed and loved audio video streams. Also said other genres like R&B overtook the position of rock music. So what the heck? Yeah, jeez, I don't know. Everything evolves. So
Right.
it's going to evolve. I don't know what into, but how far can they take
Yeah.
it?
And some of it is, I want something. I don't want to listen to what my parents listen to. I don't want to listen to what my older brothers and sisters listen to. I want, so things go into extremes, and all these
Yeah.
subgenres develop, and music just gets so segmented, and it's hard to even find somebody that's listening to the same stuff you're listening to because there's just so there's so much out there and it's so segmented, and
Yeah,
almost every band almost has their own subgenre now. It's just ridiculous. Just
It's weird. It's weird, and of course, like myself, I can go in my bedroom and where I have a recording studio set up and record the whole thing myself. So the whole system is really funky, really screwed up, man.
But you're an old time guy that plays and actually plays. You're not. There's so much of the just the Pro Tools generation, I suppose. Just which
yeah, they
I
don't.
suppose it's a great way for them to express themselves and get their art out there. And but at the same time, is it rock? And like I said, they go to these extremes. You can see bands that are like we saw, in Mudvayne. Well, they've been around for a while, but
Right.
that are extreme to that level. And then there's other bands that are called rock that are playing banjos, and it's just
It's not whack.
this hipster, these hipster bands, and
you got the Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, they're on our.
We could have seen them. We could have seen them, but
well, actually, I think it's coming up. But as I said, I can't imagine dragging my ass to that one. So,
boom. I wish I. Well, here I don't have. Let me see. Where is it? There. That was a good one. Yeah, imagine dragging your ass there. True that.
No.
But Gene Simmons, he thinks there's no future for rock and roll.
Yeah, he said that a few years back.
Yeah. I like this. Now, normally, when old blowhards like Simmons start talking about the abysmal state of rock and roll, it's easy to just shrug it off as uninformed ramblings of an out-of-touch curmudgeon. I love this, but shockingly, and maybe more than just a bunch of hot air, because despite what other rock legends like Dee Snider and Dave Grohl offer as counterparts, namely they're still making music, it really does appear that rock and roll as we once knew it is over. Well, that's probably true. I mean, it just
rock and roll as we once knew it.
Yeah, there you go. That's it right there.
The 60s were different from the 50s. The 70s were different from the 60s. I mean, it's a constant evolution. But there are still good rocking bands of what you would call the 70s hard rock, that type of music. We saw opening up for Black Crowes last year, a band called Dirty Honey. They were good, solid, rocking band, and
it was.
Yeah,
true that.
So I mean, there are bands out there. Are they being given priority on radio? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You need to look for them. You need to go out and support live music or whatever. But yeah.
Well, yeah, the whole everything's changed. Free downloads. You can download anything. You don't even have to pay for it. Or back in the day, there was a big process putting a record out, and now, geez, who's making the money? Who's making them? You got to basically gig to make money.
Right.
At this point,
and
can make money off of your records. Yeah. Yeah, so
that's why you see so many of them on here too, and having YouTube channels and making money off of that too. So,
gotta do what you gotta do. Not much to it, but
I think also a lot of kids just aren't into rock like we were. It wasn't like something that was talked about. Remember, scribbling all your favorite bands' names on your notebook cover and that kind of stuff, and
reading the liner notes and all that.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Coming in home with an album and just sitting home and just listening and reading the liner notes while you're listening to it, and just
Absolutely.
I mean, kids they have other things. They have video games. I think that takes a lot of the I don't get into that, but I think it takes some of the creativity away. Where kids used to be into, you know, demons and wizards and that type of thing. They would get into bands that played that stuff from the early 70s, and now they have video games where they can, release that.
It's just screwed up today. Recording engineers, they basically have to, when they're mastering a song, they got to consider that this song will more likely be heard on a ton of phone speakers. People listen to it, so they got to put that into consideration anymore. Just how's it's going to sound on a phone speaker?
Yeah,
because that's a big deal now. So, everything gone to hell.
Yeah, no, you're right. The big bombastic sound of rock is just, it's not compatible with technology, I suppose.
Yeah, it's such a change. They put albums out like Sgt. Pepper's and Who Live Leads and all. They using 4-track studios. And I got my cheap little rig here in the bedroom with 92 channels, 92 tracks if I need it. And from 4 tracks to 92 tracks. That's how much I have if I need it on my Pro Tools. So it's just, things are just gone nuts, and music's gone the same way. So,
and like I said, back in the 70s, bands were doing 2 albums a year, fairly regularly. And now, and now it's taken 3-4 plus years to put out an album. I think it's just what it is. It's just over producing, just over pouring over every little spot and pro tooling it, and you're not getting that soul, and that's the kind of where rock's undoing of its own self.
Yep. Yeah, man. Jeez, it is. It's a drag. It's things change, and all our heroes. They're having to start wrapping it up. Oh, as a matter of fact, did you hear about fast fact? Apparently, Whitesnake has canceled their whole American tour or a North American tour, the whole thing. So apparently, upper respiratory problem for David.
Recovered it. Wow.
But yeah,
here they don't
tour.
Go again.
That may be it, though. I think that's it, because this was their farewell tour.
Yeah.
So that could be the total end. That we may have seen the last gig of the Mighty.
Yeah, remember we saw him open for Priest, and there was a lot of putting the microphone out to the audience kind of
Red
stuff.
Beach, Doug Ulrich.
Yeah, there was a lot of that going on. And that was, that was 10 years ago or better. But yeah.
Wow. Yeah, even back then, he was doing that. But and I've seen the video of this concert or this tour that he was doing, and everybody in the band sings, so he's got plenty of backup singing along with him when he can't get it out. But boy, this must be bad though. Upper respiratory thing. Jeez, canceled the whole thing. So I imagine that's it. The Mighty Whitesnake is done. So wow. But I thought I'd bring that up before I forget about it, because I read that, and that's like shocked the hell out of me, because I know it's their final tour. So boy, goodbye USA, just nothing. So oh well, it is what it is. I hope he has a great retirement. No, so many of our people, if they're not dying, they're retiring. It's so nice to
like
see.
Paul Simon said, every generation knocks a hero off the pop charts, and it's just it's just natural evolution of things. And somebody we thought was the absolute greatest and the ultimate, and 20 years down the road, doesn't get a second listen to, so and a lot of them do, and a lot of young kids are listening to the old stuff. And quite honestly, maybe that's detrimental to rock too, where it's we've peaked. We're
I think it could be.
They're just not going to get stuff better right now.
Back in the birth of rock and roll, they took elements of gospel, country, rhythm and blues mostly, and bam, we get out the rock and roll. So where do you go from here?
And that's what I mean. Now it's so segmented. It's like, if you try to do that, you're no, you're this type of band. You could, it's just the level of creativity is just been so squelched just over the last couple decades, I suppose.
Everything is segmented, and it's totally different from when we were younger, listening to the AM radio here, where they'd have Sammy Davis Jr. followed by Johnny Cash, followed by Jimi Hendrix, followed by Cream. You had everything.
Followed by Carly Simon, followed by Earth, Wind and Fire, followed by everything.
That was great.
Bill Withers,
And the thing is, you had no choice. That was it. So you had to listen to, if you wanted to listen to music, you had to, back then you listened to one or two
and loved it. I mean, we never thought differently. That was just
exactly.
That's just what was.
And now then there'd be 10 different channels for 10 different stations for different kind of music.
I think another aspect where I guess rock has kind of been shooting itself in the foot is I think it's unhip for bands to be big, to be mainstream. Foo Fighters, yeah, they've been around for coming up on 30 years now, but I think up and coming bands, if they were to be coming right out of the gate, number one, and if there were a, I don't know, Beatlemania situation or something, they would be made fun of and minimized, and
oh gosh,
you know what I mean? It wouldn't be, you have to be underground to be cool. So just by that, in itself, then you're not out there, you're not mainstream, and
yeah. Well, I'm just I'm happy to have the music I have. A lot of memories with all that classic stuff I've got. And every now and then I'll hear something on our local hard rock station that's decent enough. But a lot of it, gosh, just I don't know. It's a bummer.
We're geezers, Murph. It's it's not for us.
One of the big problems is somebody learned how to do a drop D tuning. So now all these guitar heroes, all they have to do is put one single finger across the guitar thing, and they can be rock stars. It doesn't take anything at all.
Right.
Play their chords just by putting a finger straight across, and I made a lot of heroes.
And I thought that too, other than John 5, but most of the hard rock guitarists now, even they're not Eddie Van Halen. They're not out there just wailing. They're just kind of standing there and kind of doing their thing. You're right. It's just they just do the tuning, and they play it that way. It's just, I guess, lack of star power. There's no big boisterous front man. There's no David Lee Roth. There's no Freddie Mercury. There's no, there's no guy like that right now, or woman either. For that matter.
Yeah.
So just the lack of, it's just, I don't know. I think it's a lot of factors. Just kind of makes it seem like there's a decline in popularity of rock and roll, and there is. Kids now. My stepson listens to rap, and it's just disgusts me. But that's their that's that generation.
Jesus.
My daughters, thank goodness, never did. They're true rockers. But
yep. Yeah, my kids, they rock. Yeah, so at least we got that going for us, which is nice. Yeah. But we'll see what happens, man. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to watch, but. It is what
support your local bands, support local music, live music.
Absolutely.
And,
I went to one today, as a matter of fact. I won last night at Pink Floyd tribute. Yeah, so definitely supporting the local bands and the big guys. We'll be seeing Incubus and Bush. Everybody loves Bush,
Bush is later with Alice in Chains. Incubus is Sublime.
Well, I love Bush. I'm just saying that. But we'll see them. They'll be great. But so we'll see what happens, man. Hopefully the weather holds out. Hopefully we go for number 8 straight in a row with great weather, just like perfect weather.
Absolutely.
We'll see what happens. But very cool, Doc. Man, we'll see what see how the music scene turns out. But not hearing an awful lot of good killer stuff out there right now. It's not the 70s anymore. It's not the 80s. So
no,
it is what it is. But in any case. Excellent, man. We'll be seeing you.
Just keep digging into the music of the past. If you haven't heard it before, it's new to you. And like I said, just support rock and roll, man.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin, Hammer of the Gods. So there you go. But definitely have a good one, man. Looking forward to Sunday night. Let's pray for good weather and have another great concert, and we can do the review next week. So thanks a lot, everybody, for stopping by. I'm Murph, and there is Doc. What do you got to say, Doc?
Just reminding everybody to subscribe and like and comment and get involved, and let's get the geezer community on a roll here.
That's right.
Like I said, we're expanding into the world of podcasts, so this is our maiden voyage into that realm, and hopefully caught some listeners on there. So.
Very cool.
Other than that, hey, have a great rock and roll filled week, and we will talk to you next time.
Later.